I have spent 3 decades in Nigeria, and if there's one sector that needs to be uprooted and rebuilt from scratch, it is the power and energy sector. For decades, we have been dancing around the same problem: darkness. Nigeria's electric infrastructure is woefully inadequate. Decades of mismanagement, corruption, and zero political will. The energy sector has been reduced to oil and gas under the NNPC, with hydro limping behind. Gas gives us 80% of our power, hydro 20%, solar and wind practically zero. In 2025, that is just shameful. It is criminal negligence.
Look, I want you to see my face in every episode, but I'm not going green screen in low resolution. If you like smart city story and have interest in film and urban development and want to help me make better videos, please subscribe, like, and share to folks that will be interested in this movement. If you have got a buck to spare, support me on Patreon or PayPal. Every bit gets me closer to showing up on camera the way this stuff deserve. The current goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. Help me get there. You click, I film. Honest trade. Click the subscribe button now. Like, seriously. Now let's continue.
Here is the kicker. On paper, Nigeria has capacity to generate 13,000 megawatts. In reality, only 3,000 to 5,000 megawatts actually reaches customers. Because the grid leaks like a basket, in March 2025, our peak output was 5,801 megawatts. That is the light we are all celebrating on Twitter before it went off again. 1/3 of Nigerians have no electricity at all. And the grid, it collapsed 12 times in 1 year. So people resort to generators, noisy, polluting, and expensive. And yet, this country sits on the equator with enough sunshine to blind us. Solar potentials that could hit 209 gigawatts by 2050. Well, that is if we start taking advantage of it today. Wind, untapped, especially along the coast and in Jos, Plateau State. Nuclear, completely ignored when it should be on the table. The United States generates 700 terawatts per hour with nuclear. Small modular reactors could provide steady base load here. But what do we hear instead? Our vice president holding a symposium about no nuclear weapon in Africa. Sir, nobody is asking for nuclear bombs. We're asking for nuclear power plants. Where are the courses in our universities to even spark the interest? What are our engineers in the country doing? If I were president, first thing, radically upgrade our transmission and distribution system. Every local government, all 774 of them, should have at least a 10-acre solar field. That is not a dream, it is math. Build solar systems and storage mini-grid for municipalities. Promote solar roofs, efficient appliances, industrial cogeneration. Let households feed their excess solar into the grid. Why are we still pretending this is rocket science? We need a national renewable energy agency. Fast-track wind farm, solar park, and yes, start pilot project with nuclear. Encourage distributed generation. Small home systems in the north where grid expansion will take forever. Let's stop acting like candles are our backup plan. More than 1 in 3 Nigerians have never even been connected on the grid. Not once. The president boldly declared, by all means necessary, you must have electricity. It's primary words, but as usual, delivery is always stuck in the dark. Now let's talk oil, because the elephant in the room is the Dangote refinery. As a climatologist, I hated the idea of building a mega refinery in the 21st century, but then I look at the numbers. 5 government refineries, Port Harcourt, Warri, Kaduna, all dead, forever under rehabilitation. Their combined capacity, 445,000 barrels per day. Actual output, 0. Dangote's plants alone does 650,000 barrels per day. Nigeria consumes 370,000 barrels per day. So technically, we can export the rest. On paper, that's good, but depending on one mega refinery is a national risk. Yes, there are 5 smaller private refineries at 30,000 barrels per day total, but compared to Dangote, that's a drop in the ocean. Now, why am I talking about these refineries? Because most of Nigeria's electricity still comes from thermal stations, burning natural gas through turbines and steam cycles. About 80% of our power is generated in these plants. Egbin in Lagos, Afam in Rivers, Guregu in Kogi, Omotosho in Ondo, Olorunsogo in Ogun. The usual suspects. The problem is gas supply is unreliable. Pipeline gets vandalized. Bills go unpaid. Infrastructure is a mess, so these plants end up running far below capacity, limping instead of powering. So here's the truth: Nigeria's energy future cannot rest on gas and oil alone. That road is exhausted. We need diversity. We must diversify. And yes, let's set a real goal. Even if our politicians hate setting goals they will actually fulfill. By 2050, imagine this: 40% solar and wind, 30% natural gas as a transition, 20% nuclear for steady base load, and 10% hydro and biomass. That is not fantasy, that is strategy. And here is the beauty: this shift doesn't just bring light, it brings jobs. Solar panel factories in Kaduna, wind turbine blades from Lagos, nuclear engineers trained at Unilag and ABU or OAU. Young Nigerians don't have to flee to Canada. They can build batteries, design smart grids, and power a continent. Because until we get power right, every other dream we have, industry, agriculture, education, even healthcare, is stuck in the dark. And if we keep waiting for politicians in 2050, we will still be charging our phone at Mama Nkechi's shop. Nigeria doesn't deserve to be the generator capital of the world. We deserve to be the powerhouse of Africa. We have the smarts. Light up Nigeria and you will light up Africa. So if you believe in this vision, hit like, subscribe, drop a comment, and let's keep the conversation alive. This blackout era has lasted long enough.